Hey guys, this is Colin Harrison with NEI. Lately we've had a lot of questions about organizing files for LP360 specifically, but I mean, really this can go for a lot of different drone softwares, a lot of different softwares in general. Super easy, super simple, but it's a great way to just smooth out your workflow. So I'm going to go through where I put my files, both for my LP360 projects. I'm going to go through where I put my files when I bring them in off my drone, and then kind of where I keep my deliverables and my exports so that I can go back and find them later. If you go to this PC, I can open up my main drives. This is the root directory of my drive. I choose to just have one big drive. I don't have a secondary storage drive like a lot of people do. I tend to not back up a lot of data. Mostly we're doing trainings and demos, so I'm getting rid of a lot of that stuff. So inside my drive, I have a temporary flight folder, and I have an LP projects folder. You really want to try to keep these folders as close to the root directory as possible. You don't want a really long folder path up here that it has to root through to find every time you transfer a file. So this is why I have them in my root directory. So the first thing I have is my temp flight folder, temporary flight folder. And I call it my temporary flight folder because I throw things in here and delete them out on a routine basis. So the first thing I do when I complete a flight in the field is I remove it from my drive, remove it from my SD card, whichever system I'm using, and I dump it here. Whether it's a Wingtra with an ortho and a bunch of photos, or if I have a flight with a DJI LiDAR, I'm going to put that in here, or a GeoQ sensor, which of course will give you a cycle folder. So inside I'll have my system folder, and then I'll have my flight folder with my cameras and my laser. So this is where I like to put those, temporary flight folder. At a certain point, when I start to run out of space, usually I'll clean it out once I get, I don't know, maybe once a month I'll clean it out, depending on how much I'm flying. It'll start to add up to a good bit. Right now, those few flights are 75 gigabytes. So it can eat up your hard drive space pretty quick. That's why I keep it all in there so I can see where it is and delete it easily. Then I have the second folder I work with, which is my LP projects folder. Again, same thing, root directory, right there where I can get to it easily. Inside LP projects, this is where I keep all of my projects. Everything I want to put into LP360, this is where I tell it to create the project. So I've got a Wingtra ortho right here. I've got some data out of our new TrueView Go handheld sensor. I've got data out of DJI's. Here's L2 data. And then of course data out of just our normal GeoQ sensors. So I keep everything all in one place, and I'll go ahead and boot up LP360 so you can show what that looks like and how to set that. Okay, so I'm going to click Open Existing Project, which is going to take me to all of those projects, all those folders I just was showing. So here's the ones that I have. This computer's pretty new, so I don't have anything real old in here. I'm just going to open up a random job here. Alright, so here's a flight we did, just a DJI flight. So if I go to the Projects tab, and then I go to Settings, under Project, I have a default projects root folder. So this should take me right to that LP projects folder in my root directory. That's where LP is going to, by default, put all of my new projects. So I don't even have to think about it once I set that. I just tell it which project. Then I have project path. So then this is going to be the actual folder inside that folder where everything gets stored. I keep all of my deliverables here as well. I'll usually make a new folder here and I'll name it deliverables, or I'll name it GeoTIFF, ortho, thinned surface, XML surface, whatever I'm exporting out of LP. I'll make me a new folder for them usually, and that way everything can stay organized. Guys, I hope this was helpful. We get a lot of questions about this, so it's something I've been wanting to make a video for a while. And this goes for pretty much every software, and especially in the geomatics industry, because you're dealing with so many different files. So the drone flights, you got exports, deliverables, and then the files that you just naturally create as you're working through your workflow with LiDAR. It also goes without saying that these files are big. You're going to want to get rid of them at some point. So knowing where they are, knowing where the big files are, makes it easy to keep things clean and make the most of your hard drive space. Feel free to ask any questions, post it in the comments, or shoot me an email. I'm going to put it at the top left at the end of this video. And look forward to seeing you guys on the next one.